I had a great question come in from Ryan Mason a couple of days ago. He wrote, "Hi Tony, do you think the second home tax is making it much harder for people to build a buy-to-let portfolio? This seems to be a stumbling block for many first-timers." Now Ryan, that is a great question and I thank you for it, but I'm wondering if you're referring to stamp duty or the Section 24, lovingly known as the tenant tax, which at the time of filming has literally just kicked in. Either way, if it's okay, I'm going to just group these two taxes in together for 1 minute because I've been wanting to do a video on property taxes for some time because I think I can contribute some positive stuff to this topic. Hi there, my name is Tony Law from Your First 4 Houses, and my channel is all about helping you get to investment property number 4 as quickly and as painlessly as possible. So first things first, if you're not familiar with what Section 24 is, can I encourage you to check out some of the excellent videos that Vanessa Warwick from Property Tribes has been putting out. I'll put a link in the box below to these. So, first things first. The recent tax changes are of course having a negative impact on our property world, and I know many investors who are now re-evaluating what they're doing moving forwards. But I want to specifically address your question, Ryan, which is, are these tax changes making it harder for people to build a portfolio? Well, in my opinion, no. You see, there are things that you can do to lessen the impact of some of these tax changes, but I can't really talk to you about these here because I don't know your specific set of circumstances or indeed anybody else's watching this video. And so, as I tell every property investor that I meet, one of the very first things you should be doing right now is speaking to a property savvy accountant, and you take their advice, which will of course be geared around your circumstances. If you do this, it could be the best money you ever spend. But please don't listen to family, friends or other amateur investors when it comes to tax, because honestly, their advice could be wrong. But perhaps more importantly, I am now seeing some real opportunities coming onto the market. And a good example of this is that many established landlords are starting to sell off some or all of their portfolio. And so one of the best things that you can do right now is to connect with these investors and try to find ways of constructing win-win deals with them, something that works for both parties. So why not sit down and write out a list of 5 ways that you could connect with established property investors over the next couple of weeks. And when you speak to one, offer to buy them a Starbucks. You might be amazed at what comes out of that meeting. Next, I have to say, I am seeing less and less amateur investors wanting to get involved because they're hearing all about these negative tax changes. Less competition from amateur investors who tend to overpay for properties can only be a good thing if you're wanting to build your own portfolio. We still have a growing population and we're still not building anywhere near enough dwellings each year. And so again, this can only be a good thing for anyone investing in property for the longer term. But let me give you some specific advice that you can take action on today. Firstly, try not to worry about the additional stamp duty. I know that's maybe easier said than done, but instead, look for places where you can add real tangible value. You could add tens of thousands of pounds to a property, which would make any additional stamp duty you had to pay when you bought the place look pretty meaningless by comparison. Consider your primary residence as one of your investment properties. I'm sure that you're already fully aware that there are lots of tax advantages to doing this. If you're not aware of what they are, speak to that property savvy accountant. Focus on lowering your gearing, which is something that I've been doing recently by, again, perhaps adding some value, refinancing, but then not pulling out any more cash from the property. Instead, just lowering your loan to value if you can. Consider controlling properties rather than buying them. And lastly, there are actually some huge tax advantages to creating new dwellings, advantages that could again dramatically lessen the impact of these recent tax changes. And I'm not necessarily talking about building brand new houses here. You could be taking existing dwellings and turning them into 2 or 3 separate dwellings. Honestly, The key really is to seek the right advice from the right people, because if you do, there's really no reason why these recent tax changes should stop you or indeed anybody else from building a buy-to-let portfolio. I really hope you found this one helpful, but before you go, if anybody watching this can add anything to the thoughts that I've sort of talked through in this video, I would love it if you could take a moment to comment in the box below. Also, if you found this helpful, please take a moment to subscribe, and I've also got a couple of other videos here that you may well find helpful. My name is Tony Law from Your First 4 Houses, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you.